Limit break. Here we are again with another red deck profile for Digimon. This is 1.5 format, so it is 1.5 cards. Um, this is I've mentioned it in my Omnimon Red 1.5 deck list. I mentioned that I had a deck based off of I called it PlotArmor.Deck. This is the deck profile for that, PlotArmor.Deck. So, just to show off my new playmat that I got. It's a Sorcery from Naruto, puppeteering Skull Kid and Link from Majora's Mask. Had a guy at my work commission the piece, and I put it on a playmat, and I love how it turned out. So just kind of showing that off for y'all today while we do the deck profile. So, all right, let's dive right into this. I do use the same 5 babies as Red Omni 1.5. We got 4 Gigi and 1 Koro. I'm not going to dive into it too much because the reasoning behind this is the same as I explained it in the Omnimon 1.5 deck profile. This has... The Digimon has 4 more Digi-Evolution cards. It gets 1,000 DP. Digimon says if there's 5 or more in the trash, it gets 1,000 DP. So this is just a little easier to accomplish. You know, they get 5 in the trash pretty quickly. Usually by like turn 2 sometimes, especially if you kill something. So Digimon is just kind of the 4 of, and Koromons are 4th, or a 5th Tama just to use. I give you a little bit more in-depth explanation on the Omnimon deck profile, so y'all go check that out real quick. But let's dive into the rest of this deck list. We got, for our 2 cost rookies, we got 2 Monodramon and our 4 Biomon. That's just for if we have to play a rookie out. 2 costs, you know, 2's less than 3, of course, duh. So this kind of just helps us go wide a little bit. If we got to play a blocker, instead of paying 5 for a blocker, we'll pay 2. And then we'll pay 2 to evolve. We'll also get that draw as well. So it's just a little bit better than paying for blockers outright or stuff like that. It's a lot cheaper. You know, it costs 1 less and we get the draw off of it. So we play... we only play 6. I know some people play 4 and 4, or... you know, you live by the 2 costs or you die by the 2 costs. But... I wanted to do 4 Bio and 2 Monodramon just for that, because it doesn't really revolve more around... this deck doesn't revolve around going wide, per se. It revolves around increasing your stack with Agumon and into Greymons and stuff like that, and just boosting them up for... really, to boost them up to where you don't really care if you hit an Omnimon in life. So, moving on to our... other rookies, we play 3 of the starter deck Agumon. Inheritable, this Digimon gains 1k. So, you know, just a basic increase your DP type rookie to kind of increase the power of your stack. That's really all this is doing. And then our other rookie, which is kind of one of the reasons we called this PlotArmor.Deck, is it's the Greymon line through and through. Is mainly just to make use of this card and maximize its potential. This Agumon says, as an inheritable, while this Digimon has a Greymon in its name, it gets 2,000 DP. And naturally, Greymon, Skull Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon, Blitz Greymon, they all get that plus 2,000 because they include Greymon in the name. So that's really what we're doing. We're trying to maximize that card effect. And you know, there's a lot of good Greymon cards out there. A lot of good Greymon and the War Greymon. You know, they all have good effects. So we're really just boosting those up and swinging for the fences. All right, next we got the promo Greymon. We kind of use this in unison with the Agumon You know, if he has a great, if he has an Agumon as a Digi-Evolution, it gets security attack +1. So with this Agumon, the 2000 boost, it gives him 7k, and he'll hit for 2 hits. So that's a pretty powerful level 4. He becomes a threat himself. So that's another reason we use a lot of Agumons, is put an Agumon under him, and he'll either be a 6,000 or a 7,000 2-hitter. So that's, you know, what we try to utilize that to our max potential. And, you know, it's actually been working out. This is a really good card for me lately. It puts a lot of early game threat on the board, you know, hitting them for 2, getting them down to 3 life on like turn 2. You know, it's incredible. And then, of course, we play the starter deck Greymon. Inheritable gives security attack +1. That'll increase our boost, our stack. I'm sorry, our stack. It'll do more damage with this as a inheritable. You know, Blitz, War, all of them. They get really, really threatening with this as their Digi-Evolution source. And then to close out our level 4s, we got our 4 blockers. You know, that's just self-explanatory. You know, we got to defend ourselves sometimes. And red, I think, only has a couple of blockers, and this is probably still the best one. So that's why we use those. Moving on to the level 5s. We play 4 of this Metal Greymon. Main reason because it's got piercing. So, you know, our Agumon, that gives, if it has Greymon in its name, it gives it 2k. So this becomes a 9k piercer. So it'll do damage while it's getting rid of a body that's problematic. It also has the Digivolving effect. You may return 1 level 7 Digimon card with Virus and its attribute from your trash to your hand, and we got some of that in here. I'll show y'all in a little bit. So it helps us get those back if they were hit from security or if they died later in the game. We'll grab it back with the Digivolving skill, which is one of the reasons we play 4, just to kind of increase our chances of being able to grab that card back from the trash. And then I'll just kind of throw out all these Greymons. We run different numbers of them. We got 2 Metal Greymon, so the secret rare. We play 2 Metal Greymon from the starter deck, and 1 Skull Gray. Skull Gray, it's kind of self-explanatory. You know, on play, delete a Digimon with blocker. So, you know, it's a 1 cost less Gaia Force if you're trying to kill a blocker, essentially. It's real neat to go into this, and then you just be able to go right into level 6 next turn. So that's why we play this. The Metal Greymon from the starter deck, as an inheritable, when this Digimon is blocked, gain 3 memory. So if they block it, we don't really care. If they block the level 6 or something with this on it, we don't really care. We'll get 3 memory back. We can play out a turn a little bit more. And this Metal Greymon, he's a threat himself with security attack +2. So with the Agumon, he does become a 11k for 3 potential hits. We do lose 5 memory when he attacks, but that's fine. If we have nothing else to play this turn, and he's at 11k, or with a Digimon, you know, make him 12k, and then we'll swing. You know, we'll be potentially doing 3 hits total. With a 12, with an 11k, I'm sorry, with an 11k. So, you know, the level 5 can become a boss himself as well. So that's really why we play him. And we also have the inheritable Digimon gets 3k, so that boosts up our Blitz, that boosts up our War Gray, as I'll show y'all in a little bit, and boosts up our level 7s and stuff like that. So the plus 3k is also really good to have. But he's also in there for if I'm not seeing level 6s and I need to close out the game, you know, I'll take the 5 memory and I'll swing with him. Hopefully he's stacked up and he'll do 3 hits and won't die. So that's another reason I play him. And I think we're going to our level 6s now. Yep. We play 4 War Greymon, mainly because he's just a cheap Evo and he's a Greymon. So when Digivolving, this Digimon gains security attack +1. And during my turn, he doesn't activate security cards when it checks security. I'm sorry, it doesn't check option cards in the security. So if he swings and it hits a Gaia Force or a Flower Cannon or something like that, it does not activate. Or even if they hit like a Night Raid or any option in the security when he attacks, it does not trigger. So this, I've lost many a game by swinging and then getting hit with a flower cannon just for the green player to come back next turn. I've swung and then had a Gaia Force hit me, and they end up coming back from that. So it just kind of stops that, you know. You swing and you really, you know, you boost them with an Agumon, a Koromon, or a Digimon, and I mean, hell, a Metal Greymon. You know, you get him to like 16k. You swing, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, he can't. Omnimon won't kill him. Options won't kill him. Or do anything to him. Like, he won't, like, because option cards just don't activate, you know? So, like, even if it's a Cocytus Breath, he doesn't bounce. You know, he's safe. Option cards don't check in security when he attacks. Only when he attacks. Yeah, this Digimon. Yeah, just double checking. So, it's only when he attacks. It doesn't check the security. So, it doesn't check the option. So, yeah. So, and he's a 3 cost to evolve into. So, he's kind of our, I don't want to say our main boss, but he's our cheapest boss. And he puts in work too, man. He's just solid. So solid. And then our other level 6 is, we play 3 Blitz. Blitz is a really good card. I really love him. He's a Piercer. It costs 4 to evolve onto a black or a red. He pierces, so he'll do a security check if he attacks something. And when Digivolving, trigger De-Digivolve 2 onto one of your opponent's Digimon. So it'll reduce them 2 levels when you Digivolve. So it's that really comes in handy as well. And then he's a 12k, so he's 1k more. He's 1k more than Wargrey. And you know, he'll deal with threats. You know, sometimes they got big dudes on the field. And instead of attacking their life, you want to attack the big dude and still do damage. You know, so Blitz Greymon helps us do that. Really good card. I've thought about playing in 4 Blitz, at 3 Wargrey. I've also thought, I've also thought about like Volcanic Dramon as my 7th. But I don't know. I didn't really like Volcanic Dramon. See, look, I have it like right here. It wasn't far from the deck. I don't know. I just don't like it as my 7th. Level 6, I kind of just want to keep it Greymon as best as I can and like just boost him up with big hits and multiple hits, and that's kind of just the point of the deck. Now, our level 7, some might think that we're running Omnimon Alter S, but we're not. Main reason we're not is I don't like proxies. I don't like proxying cards, so I want to use cards that I actually have. Omnimon Alter S is also in my Omnimon deck, and instead of interchanging them out, I run 2 Ragnaromon. He's a level 7 virus, so that Metal Greymon can add him back from the drop. He costs 3, you know, so he's cheaper than Omnimon. I know he doesn't do as much. Omnimon, come on, it's Omnimon. But, you know, for just a cheap cost, I can swing and he got security attack +1, so he'll do his initial hit, the security attack +1, and then if I have a Greymon underneath him, you know, he'll really hit hard. He's also red, so Omnimon's not red, so our ties, our ties won't give Omnimon the security attack boost, so tie will give him a boost. So let's say if I have a tie with a full stack, the level 4 Greymon as an inheritable gives him security attack +1. Ty gives him security attack +1. He's got security attack +1, and then his initial. So he'll be doing 4 hits total, and then we'll reboot him at the end of the turn, mainly just to keep him alive. I know Ragna players want to reboot him because they got blocker on it, so just to use him as a blocker. But that's not why we do it. We use him just for a cheaper level 7 that can get the full value off of Ty. For big hits, you know, he's a 14k, so Omnimon doesn't really hurt him either. After, you know, we boost it like with the Agumon, and not the Agumon that gives Greymons 2k, but like the regular Agumon and a Digimon or a Koromon. with a Metal Greymon or something like that, we'll get him above 15k, so Omnimons we don't really worry about. And then the reboot will just restand him. That way he doesn't get attacked into next turn. He's safe. Unless they have a removal. So that's why we run that. If I had two Omnimon Alter S's, I'd probably run them both. I mean, I had Omnimon Alter S in this deck. I had one Ragnar and one Alter S in this deck before I moved Alter S to my my Omnimon deck. I had one Ragnar and one Alter S, and honestly, Ragnar did more for the deck than Alter S did. I don't know. Maybe it's just the build. But Omnimon Alter S just wasn't helping this build as much as Ragnar was, so I opted for two Ragnar because I just had them. And Alter S was going in my Omnimon deck, so. But if I had two more Alter S's, I'd probably run them instead of Ragnar. This is just kind of what I have. And then we run our two ties. That's our, start at 3 memory. All of your red Digimon with 4 more Digi-Evolution cards. Sources get security attack +1. So like I was saying, if we have Ragnar with a full stack, he gets security attack +1 off of Ty as well. And, Ty's, he's not the best starting at 3 memory tamer, but I mean, he's reds, and, he boosts the security attack with the full stack, so we're trying to do a lot of damage, and we're trying to do it pretty quickly, so Ty will help us do that. And then last but not least, y'all knew it was coming. We're running red. We're running 4 Gaia Force. Plain and simple. Best removal card in the game. I know it costs a lot, but it's non-stipulatory, if that's even a word. I'm sorry. No stipulation, just kill something. It doesn't have to be tapped. It doesn't have to be untapped. It doesn't bounce it to the hand. It doesn't de-digivolve it. It's just delete it. Just delete it no matter what. And, yeah, I love hitting Gaia Force and security. Honestly, I'd rather it in security than in my hand, to be honest with you. But, yeah, that's PlotArmor.Deck. And I have loads of fun playing it. Omnimon, it's kind of a one-trick pony. It kind of just does one thing and it does it really well. My green deck is probably, I don't want to say my worst deck, but it definitely doesn't perform as well as these do. This deck is really fun to play and performs well. Green is probably the funnest deck I have to play, but it just doesn't perform as strong as my red decks do. And Omnimon performs the strongest, but just isn't that fun to play, because it does one thing. So it does one thing and does it really well. Granted, I have the Metal Tyrannos in my Omnimon deck, so the level 5s can get very threatening in that deck too. So that's kind of like win con number 2, I guess you could say, or plan B. But that's kind of like as much as you can do with the deck. You got Omnimon, and then you got my level 5s being a threat themselves. But this does a lot of things. You can branch out. There's no one way to play this deck. You can go Blitz Gray, you can go War Gray, you can go just the level 5 Metal Gray. Where's he at? This one, he can be a threat himself too. So you got options with this deck, and that's what I like. And so yeah, that's basically it. I wanted to try to keep this video as short as possible, so I'll go ahead and close it out real quick right now. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. I got a lot more coming to you. And, yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I wish I knew a better way to end these videos, but until I figure out how to end these videos a little bit more professionally, I'll just tell you guys later.